head coach of the San Antonio Brennan Bears. It is Stephen Basore. Coach Basore, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, guys.
I'm first interested in hearing. I really love the way that 27-6A is broken up with the two zones and then the zone champions playing in it. But it doesn't really matter what I think. What do you enjoy this kind of setup?
Well, it definitely adds a little drama to the mix. With our situation, last year and this year, it turned out to be a zone championship for us against Stevens both years, and then a district championship, situation for us, upcoming with O'Connor, and last year against Brandeis, and then the playoffs start. So, for all intents and purposes, it creates kind of a playoff environment, 2 weeks early. And it definitely kind of mixes the pot up. But yeah, it's led to some exciting games. Like I said, the last couple of years with Stevens, including the one we just had, and then again sets us up for a great district championship situation with O'Connor this week.
And then, you mentioned it kind of sets up a playoff-like atmosphere. You, of course, have had great success in the playoffs. Do you feel like playing important games down the stretch prepares you going into the games that are really do or die?
Yeah, obviously, you have preseason matchups that you want to play some quality opponents, and we feel like we've done that. But, at the same time, it's nice to play some quality games late just because, that's headed straight into the playoffs. So you kind of get a good feel of where you're at as you, get ready to start the UIL playoffs, and that's obviously when you want to be at your best. So, last week was a good test for us, and I'm sure this week will be the same, and that should be a good measure or gauge for what we need to fix, if anything, which there's always something. At the same time, give us a good measure of where we're at and where we need to be headed into the playoffs.
Stephen Basore, the head coach of the San Antonio Brennan Bears, joining us on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation, #DCTF Live. Coach, you ran through a gauntlet of a non-district schedule. You ended up drawing 2 losses there to Smithson Valley and to Converse Judson, 2 teams that pretty darn good and have a lot of skins on the wall. For you, when you are putting together a schedule, how important is it for you to put 1 or 2 real big-time matchups in non-district play?
Well, we definitely like to do that. Sometimes it's hard to get those games, and I know sometimes Smithson Valley and Judson has a hard time, matching up with preseason opponents. But, we really want to get some quality opponents early, again, to gauge where we're at. And we've been able to do that with the 2 teams you mentioned. And, they gave us a big game this year, both cases, and we came up short again in both situations. But, I think that allows for your team to grow and kind of what I was saying before, playing good games early, playing good games late. I think it's more important late, but early you can really learn and grow. And at the end of the day, you want to be good against the best. That's what you're working for, to be the best you can. And the only way to find that out is to play good people. So we definitely try to get, a couple of good heavyweight matches early. And who knows what that'll be with the next realignment. But, these last couple of years, I think Smithson Valley's been a great opponent. And like you said, they've had tremendous success, over the time. And then, Judson is Judson. And in this region, that's saying a lot with what they're doing. And they've got a great season going right now. So.
Yeah, there's no lack of strength of schedule on your side there, but of course your team has always been based around running the ball. It's always been priority 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is established the run. When you look at your 2 running backs, the guys who have really carried the load for you, with Jamil Jeter and Devontae Warren, how difficult do you think it is for other teams to have to game plan for 2 guys who really can change the game on any play?
Well, they really are both game breakers, and we've been fortunate to have some pretty good running backs over the years, and those 2 guys both have the ability to break it on any play, which is a great luxury that we like to have, and they do have different running styles. One's maybe a little bit faster in Devontae, and then, Jamil definitely is a lot bigger and can be much more of a difficult guy to tackle, for the opposing team. But at the same time, they both have good vision. They're both fast, and Devontae, even though he's not, a really big physique guy, he is not afraid to stick his nose in there and cram out yards. So, it does add to a little diversity, and I think it just makes us a little more complex because it may be the same play, but those 2 guys may run the same play differently, and therefore it puts pressure on defenses.
In your past 5 games, it seems like your defense has really hit its stride. How much of it do you think is you had a relatively young defense coming into the year? How much of it is it that just getting that experience under your belt and getting guys game time to move forward and get better as the season goes on?
Well, I think it's kind of what you all alluded to earlier with the preseason schedule. We've been hit pretty hard by injuries this year, and so we got hit by injuries and we were young, and usually those are two pretty bad things, But again, we had to grow up and learn from those, and they've been nagging situations throughout the year, but at least now the inexperienced guys are experienced. The injuries is something you just can't control, and sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not so lucky. But now we're much more experienced, and hopefully we're kind of hitting our stride defensively. And if we can stay healthy and continue to play well, I'm excited about what we can do in the future.
One of the guys who has held together your young defense is your senior linebacker, G.J. Allen. What a star he is, and what you've coached a lot of great defenders at Brennan.
Very good.
Where does he rank as far as guys that you've been able to coach?
Well, yeah, we've been very blessed, with some of the kids we've had here. Like you mentioned, we had Derek Roberson, who went on to Texas, and Grant Watanabe, who was another linebacker, went on to Colorado, and DJ is a verbal commit to Tulsa right now, and they're all in the same mold. They all had different things, but DJ is very explosive, very strong. He's got good speed, good instincts. He's a pretty good tackler. I mean, he's one of those can pretty much do it all kind of guys. He can cover the pass, he can stuff the run. So he's just got tremendous playmaking ability, and he's been able to do that for us for the last 3 years, and this year's no different than anything else. So I would just say he's a total package. I think he and Grant are similar, but I think DJ's strength is just his versatility in run and pass game, because he's really good at all the above.
We're talking to Stephen Basore, the head coach of the San Antonio Brennan Bears, here on DCTF Live. And Coach, one last question before we let you go. You've got this district title game coming up with San Antonio O'Connor, and the cynics across the state would say, well, why does this game matter? You guys are going to Division II. San Antonio O'Connor is going to Division I. There's really no real, there's no real upside to winning this game. What are you telling your kids? Because I imagine the district title still means something down there.
Yeah, and really that's what it's about. It's about the district title. I think our playoff fate is set, in terms of, we'll be the number one seed for the small, and I think O'Connor's is set as well as the number one for the big. So, that's already in motion. So now you have this game, and you got to play it, and it's a quality opponent, and we plan to win, and I'm sure they plan to win as well, and it should be a great game. But yeah, there's a big pride factor, and and that's really what it's all about, the district championship and playing for pride, and just wanting to be the best you can be, and you never want to go into the playoffs with a loss. So, certainly I'm sure both teams want to win, and both teams are preparing really hard to play their best, and see how it turns out on Friday night.
He is Stephen Basore, the head coach of the San Antonio Brennan Bears. Coach, thanks for hopping on with us. Best of luck the rest of the way, and let's plan on seeing each other at NRG Stadium. How about that?
That would be great, sir. Right. Appreciate you guys having us.
All right, take care.